Please notify the municipal clerk for any disability requirements necessary for attendance at Township Council meetings. Fire exits are located through the double doors to your right and through the door on your left. Please silence all cell phones. If you are unable to attend the council meeting in person and would like a topic to be addressed at a council meeting, please visit www.twpofwashington.us, Contact Us tab, click on Mayor and Council, send email to contact all council members at once. Could everyone please stand for a salute to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilman Cassio.
Here.
Councilman Sears.
Here.
Councilman Oman.
Here.
Councilwoman Velez. Here. Council President DeSena.
Here. Let the record reflect also in attendance Mayor Peter Calamari, Administrator Mark DiCarlo, CMFO John Corcoran via Zoom, and Township Clerk Susan Wachowski. Motion to open the public comment period of the meeting.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to come up and address the council at this time? Seeing no one, motion to close the public comment period.
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
2026 budget. So I guess we'll go through, we'll do all the items that we missed that are not salary, and then we'll just do the salary ones next, and we'll be complete.
Thank you, sir. I do have a list to bring you through. I'm
Okay.
sure everybody's expecting me for an April Fool's this evening. However, I'm not. I do want to let the council know right off the bat, unfortunately, the main condenser for the police department air conditioning totally stopped working yesterday. We called out Whalen and Ives. They did some diagnostics, and today I met with the individual right outside our windows here. And they're stating that there is a leak somewhere in the line of Freon. They stated that the units are very old. They don't recommend pressure testing it to try and find out where the leak is. I guess it's an unused Freon anymore, so they don't use that type of Freon anymore. It's $350 a pound. To fill the system would be close to $2,000. And they recommend purchasing a new unit because it sounds like it's unfixable. Unfortunately, that also involves the condenser, the air handlers, and new ductwork. It was explained to me that the Freon they use has the potential to be flammable, so the ductwork has to have sensors in it. So I was able to receive the estimate this afternoon, and it's just shy of $30,000. So it's the main air conditioning for basically the entire police department, other than the basement and the dispatch center. The question hopefully is it will be funded, but whether we fund it in the operating budget or the capital budget, that would be my first request of the council. You know, I mean, it does have a life expectancy of more than 10 years. You know, my thought would be put it in capital. Of course, I did get the bond ordinance today, but it's not, you know, Sue didn't put it out yet, so I can send it back to Mr. Beinfeld to, revise it. It would add another $1,500 for the 5% to the capital improvement fund that we took down about $20,000 from moving those things. So I guess the first thing is politely, will you fund it? And second, would you like to fund it in the operating budget or in the capital budget? And of course, I'm going to get quotes, but I have to tell you, it's going to be at least $30,000. But I will try and find it less expensive.
Mr. Corcoran, where would an expense like this, where would a CMFO put this type of expense under typical budgeting?
I would probably lean toward the current fund. I mean, based on the life expectancy, you probably could do it in capital. But I personally would probably rather see it in current, but obviously that's something council will.
Thank you.
How old is the current system that busted?
Do you know, I was told it was over 10 years old. I don't know.
Over 10, I don't know.
What's our warranty?
There is no
Not
warranty.
on that one, but moving forward.
I don't know what the warranty would be on the new one. I didn't get that far.
Okay.
What was the, this precedes you, Mr. DiCarlo, I believe. Well, no, I know it does, but what was the work effort that Mr. Cummings did.
He replaced all the units, correct, Mr. Mayor?
I don't know, I know you replaced all the town hall ones, I don't recall if he did police, yeah.
He didn't do that one, he did the one for here.
Oh, okay. I know Town Hall, he did every one.
Right, yeah.
Upstairs, he did,
It
You can
wasn't
tell
part
the
of the
difference
scope.
outside.
so he did not do the one outside. Okay. All right. There's your answer, Mr. Coleman. What say you, council? We put it into general or capital?
I would tend to put it in capital, even though it's not a huge expense. It's more than, like we're talking about trucks, they're what, 5, 10? So I would put it in capital.
Mr. Sears?
Only it's 1,500.
I would use expense,
General expense.
yeah.
Ms. Velez?
I would say general expense as well.
Mr. Ullman?
I would, excuse me, I would go capital. I think it's, it has I don't know what the amortization timeline is for it, but, it's a major piece of infrastructure on town hall.
Do we know how old the other one is? I'm sorry, Mr. Ullman, do we know how old the other one is? Could both of them, since they're both the same age, crap out?
The technician told me that it was over 10 years old. That's.
But what about the other one that's out there that wasn't replaced?
Oh, I
That's what I'm worried about.
don't know. I mean, just
Like-
for observation, the condenser looks newer.
Oh, okay.
So there's 2 out, well, there's 3. And then the dispatch one is
It's set
up to the front of the building.
Okay.
Right. So I think one is the court that's right outside our window, one was the police basement, and one was the police main, which is
The big one, the
everything
30.
but the dispatch center.
Okay,
That's
thank
the
you.
one that's busted.
So, Mr. Ullman, you were gearing on capital?
Yeah, I tend to think capital, but the question I have is, you may not have the answer tonight, but the next stage in the municipal complex was to evaluate the police department. So if they put in a new unit, is that a unit that can be reused, or is it a throwaway?
Do you know where sorry to talk to him from the audience, but the whole audience. Do you know where the air handler part is?
It's in our attic.
It's in your attic.
Or one chair.
So I do not believe, there's a couple of options that are out there for the police department. The main focus was putting the addition southbound, so from this side over, and that was for this Sally Port and the 2 cells. It did not involve ripping off the roof. I'm sure there's some type of, part of it that's gonna have to be together. I don't know. I would tell you that I think we should definitely find that out before we do it, but I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna
I don't
matter,
know
because you gotta
what the-
repair what
what-
you have now. You can't go without
Yeah.
air conditioning, right?
Yeah, I don't see why we couldn't use it, but I'm sure it would have meant either involve finagling around it and moving the system. But I wouldn't be out to just destroy it because we're, taking a wall down or something like that.
Well, I guess the question is, and I don't know if it's a viable option, but, I don't know what they refer to them as, the room,
Call the room,
like the Mitsubishis that
Yeah.
mounts
It
up.
splits out, it's just,
Yeah, they just pretty much stay in the room now.
yeah, it's not,
It's rooms from back here all the way to the front of the building. So
You need-
there's a lot of little rooms and then the entire hallway. The only thing air conditioned right now on this first floor is the dispatch center. That's it. Everything else is on heating degrees. I
would think-
believe if you did it, if you don't mind speaking, if we ever did the addition, that would probably have its own separate system. And that would be zoned separately.
So your capital,
Yeah, unlike the cars which have the vehicles which have a much shorter life, they have a shorter life, and I think the plan would be to purchase them on a regular basis, a regular cadence, so that's why I would view them as being
different,
expense versus capital.
okay. I will follow Mr. Ullman's lead and go capital also, so capital.
Thanks. So I'll just revise it. I'll probably send you a new plan just so you have it for your books. And then it'll be no problem tomorrow morning.
All right, so on page 1, we only have salaries, right?
Yeah, if we could, I just have a list for you, if you don't mind. If you
Sure.
could go to page 2, everybody, and we're
Yep.
going to go to the bottom, you're going to go to admin mileage, at the bottom of page 2.
Yep,
We need to reduce that from 600 to 550 to
Yep.
be,
yep. So I'll make a motion to reduce admin, travel, and mileage expense from 600 to 550.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio.
Yes.
Councilman Sears.
Yes.
Councilman Oman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes.
perfect. Page 2, page 3, we're going to admin IT, all the way down at the bottom.
Yep, admin IT services,
We have to
31.
increase that by 12,000 up to 43,500, and that's,
So the new ask and recommended request is 43,500?
yes,
And why is that?
because you guys moved the computers from capital to current.
That was a $12,000 computer expense that we moved last night.
Hmm.
All right, what's next, Mark?
So you guys
Oh, the
are-
roll call, I'm sorry. So new recommend is 43,500 for 601-20-103-200. Admin IT services, I'll make a motion to amend it.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Councilman Oman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes.
All right, page 8,
Page 8.
we are going to elections, miscellaneous.
Elections, miscellaneous, yeah.
We are reducing that $600 to a total of $2,900, and that's because we signed the agreement with Bethany. We thought it was going to be $1,500 an election date. It is $1,200. So we recommend reducing it to $2,900.
So the new recommend, the request for 601-20-121-500 is $2,900. I'll make a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
No.
Councilman Oman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes.
We'll go to page 17. Is
Can we just all make sure we have the mics on? There's some issues going on WCTV.
page 17.
17, thank you. Okay,
So it's actually, it starts in the bottom of 17. It goes to the top of page 18. Administration respectfully requests the reconsideration from council to fund an additional 500 to bring it back to our recommendation of 7,500. This was for our website designers' extra projects. I had provided council with the previous purchase order and invoice for the extra work that that individual did. So I'm asking for your reconsideration, please.
I'll motion for the 7,500.
I'll second.
roll call?
Councilman Casio,
No.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Councilman Oman,
No.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
No. Next,
Okay. We'll go to page 24.
okay.
We tabled uniform construction code software for $5,000.
Yep.
We'd like to reduce that down to 0. I will make a separate pitch when we get to salaries, but we'd like to bring this down to 0.
Aren't we getting the AI software?
We'll talk about it later.
Well, you tabled it because you guys wanted to read the document I had given you. We had since want to pitch another idea as far as staffing, and we were willing to remove the $5,000 for AI software to,
So we're not buying the AI software?
that's our recommendation for this year, yes.
So this, we're making $60122195820
Yes,
minus 5,000.
yes.
Can you give us the pitch now before we decide what we're doing?
So we would like to increase the staffing in the building department / planning and zoning. If you remember, we did consolidate everyone into the same office. There is a lot of work being conducted within the building department. We'd like to essentially hire what we would call a second assistant TA, just so everyone knows, one individual in there is a technical assistant, one individual is a part-time assistant technical assistant. We would like a second part-time technical assistant, and the main motivation would be to expand the hours of operation for the public. So right now, depending on any given day, the latest someone's in there is till 5. So I want to just interject saying, we're not bringing you a half-baked idea, but I don't essentially have everything solidified. We just know that we definitely want an additional person on a Friday. Right now, there's only one employee that staffs that office from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. The individual that's there sometimes has to go out for either a tree inspection or when a zoning needs to be done. They generally try to do it earlier in the week, but then when that individual uses entitled accrued time off, it forces us to close down the office. We kind of like someone to have additional staffing hours on that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it'd be an additional person in that office for Friday from 8 to 1:30. And then we're thinking like a 12 to 6:30, 12:30 to 7 p.m. We are open late on Mondays till 7 p.m. And the feedback we're getting is it's very much appreciated. There's a lot of customers that come in Monday night between that time frame after work. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, the planning and zoning assistant is there till 5. So they've worked very well together. I don't want to say necessarily totally cross-trained, but they work very well. So even if the planning and zoning assistant's there and someone comes in to drop off or has some questions about construction, they tend to take it. So in addition to that, it would also assist us with having extra manpower, so to speak, to purge old files over after the 10-year period. They can be purged. And my exhibit down on the table in front of you, those piles of paper, those are all still the existing escrow module accounts that have not been gone through. Most of them are from Azalina, so there's road opening permits down there. The big pile you see is the Azalina closeout purchase orders. So we want to hit that a little bit at a time. Technically, could be essentially deemed unclaimed money because a lot of these projects are going to take research time, going into the computer, seeing if it's done. If it's not done, contacting the owner. Does the owner still live here? So it's still a big project, but the motivating factor would to have more manpower in that office for an extended period of time and on Fridays. So right now, the assistant technical assistant works 20 hours, 25 hours, and has a salary of $32,000. What we'd like to do is maybe I'm going to essentially ask for half of that, $16,000, to initiate this at the half-year mark, with the intention of, if it works, coming back to the council for the full, 32 or whatever the salary is at that point. The motivation to take away the $5,000 in IA is to help support the money needed for that. So, technically it would be an $11,000 addition from what we initially asked, but we're taking away the $5,000.
Are we committing to having the pile on the table complete by 2027?
No way. There's no way. And again, the motivation isn't, because I did tell council that I didn't need to fund the special building project line to take care of that project, but I'm just wanting the council to know that there's definitely things that this individual would do. And we want to cross-train them so they can assist maybe an escrow billing in there, assist the assistant to planning and zoning, assist the construction office. There'll be plenty of stuff to do, and it will be way less expensive than trying to make a part-time employee full-time.
based on inspection revenue and fee revenue, do we really need to fund this person, or can we just hire the person based on all the building construction going on in township right now? Shouldn't this salary be, because the building department is supposed to be self-funded as per the DCA guidelines, right?
It is. but-
So we
and I
shouldn't
could-
be putting money from the taxpayers into it. It should be all coming out of inspection fee revenue, right? So if there's money there, like we should just,
Essentially, but I don't want, I don't want to give a false impression to the council that it can always be done. So in your miscellaneous documents, I gave you the UCC report for 25. We did awesome. We blew it out of the water.
that's what I'm saying. So why do we need to add money?
Well,
to it?
because I can't promise the council that's going to be every year. So the expenses for the building department were like 284 last year, and we brought in 455. But I want the council to know honestly that the year before, we only brought in, I'd have to look at the revenue, but say the revenue was only like 240. So we do have, the fair share housing, that will come in, but I can't promise the council that looking forward every year, we're going to be in the green so much.
But the building department director should have that analyzed so he or she knows if they have to cut staff at any point in time based on what their projected revenue is for the year. Because, I've been in departments where, we've had to let go of inspectors in August because the revenue fell. And, that's what happened. So, we're going back to the old adage of like when I first got put on council that we're funding the building department, whether they're making money or not making money, which is not how it's supposed to operate.
But we don't have an abundance of inspectors.
No, I'm not saying we have an
We have
abundance.
one
but-
electric, one plumber, one building, one fire. So if we got rid of one, I don't know who would do it. So I understand what you're saying. I certainly don't think we're in the position to cut staff.
No, I'm not saying we have to, but somebody should be watching it. Like, I know last year we didn't have to because we had such an abundance of permits come in that it was a banner year.
Yeah.
But there are lean years where, we have to do more or less.
Yeah. I mean,
The
again,
department has to do more or less based on the guidelines set forth by the state.
I understand. I don't think there's more to take away to make less. You know what I mean? There's
Always a way.
so.
I just don't understand. So we want to add a head that potentially will come in once they're onboarded. At
This is a new person? I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes.
This would be a new person.
Okay.
at 32. 16 for the half year, but 32 basically. And, I can't think of one industry, I could think of one or two, but I can't think of many industries or many companies that are expanding payroll in this environment. And we have, we were presented with a solution for the AI software that would basically be a sort of resource multiplier to the existing staff. So we're going to throw out software that, is a resource multiplier to bring on a resource.
Did I ever use those words, a resource multiplier?
I am.
Oh,
Well, what is the software going to do? I mean, not you, the administration made a pitch to fund $5,000 of AI software. What was that going to do?
Like they provided a whole write-up on.
That's what I'm saying, but it was an important write-up. I thought it was a
Yeah,
very
so
valuable asset.
Well,
It was a
I know
very
you guys
valuable
aren't-
tool to the
I
department.
know you're not throwing money around, so I was trying to make a concession to get some extra work. So if you're willing to, I wasn't making an ultimatum. So if you're willing to fund the $5,000 for the AI program, I'll take it. If you're willing to give me the additional staff, then I would love to have it. I was trying not to be
Based
greedy.
on the initial approval of this item for the software, I thought it was an important piece of software for the building department because it would help them get their reviews done on a more expeditious manner because it would do a lot of the calculations that they're doing manually now. So it would get
That would
permits
be
off their
great.
desk.
That would be great. Like I said, I was
We
trying
take
to.
both. But
We can't have both, you know,
Well,
so, yeah.
Tom-
But I think getting rid of this based on the original approval and the data that was provided for the approval, I think is a mistake, because I thought it was a good value for the employees to help them
That's great.
get things off their
Again,
desk.
the building department is the greatest revenue grabber for us. That's where we wanted to throw.
Well, I think one of the biggest problems we have in town, Mark, is that permits take forever to get in this town, and we all know that that's.
So we want to reduce staff because of that?
No, we want to use the AI software to get permits out of the department quicker. We're not reducing staff because they don't have the staff yet. You're asking
No,
for it.
I'm going back. to
But
what
what I'm
you
saying
said.
is, I looked at this as like, hey, one of the biggest complaints I get from people in town is it took me a long time to get my permits. So I thought, you know, with the presentation that was made with the AI software, that it would get permits off the department officials' desks and process them quicker. So therefore, people wouldn't be complaining to us saying, hey, I waited 8 months to get my pool and now the season's over and I don't have it.
I'll be very happy to take that back, but I would also ask you to take those complaints with a grain of salt, because people don't understand that there's 10 days to do this or 20 days to do this. You know, that's often when I get in the middle of a complaint, it's because the resident didn't understand the building department, the zoning officer has by law a certain amount of dates. So I would just want, but I'd love to take it back. I would hope you'd give me the additional staff too. It's a pitch. Thank you, Mr. Sears. I appreciate it. Appreciate your
I
pitch.
think the software was the key to moving those permits. That's how we were told and how we were presented.
I did not tell you that, sir. As a matter
No,
of fact,
we were
no one read the
presented,
pre-
we were
no one read the
presented
work.
that the software would help expedite those
Okay.
permits. Whether you told us or not, that's really
No.
irrelevant
You
to
guys,
me.
you guys turn everything
But that's-
adversarial, critical, criticism.
It's
I
not
didn't say any
criticism.
of that.
Nobody's
Sir,
criticism.
I
It's not
asked you
criticism. But this is not
about
criticism.
this. No one tentatively approved it. No one read the information I gave to them. They said we would table it.
Yeah.
So please don't anyone on the dais say that I said this. I never said it was a resource multiplier. I never said it would get permits
It
out.
was a resource
If that
tool.
doesn't happen, I don't want to be called out about it next year. That's all I'm asking.
No, but it's a resource tool.
Okay. I'm glad to have it.
And I would just like to add quickly that, you know, software is good. I came from a background of software, but software cannot help with the building staffing problem that was mentioned for the residents. And it also can't help with that stack of paperwork that's on the table.
Mark, was that?
But they'll be extremely critical when it doesn't get done. So.
But Mark, we gave you a budget last year to get that done, did we not? We're more
And I
than
told,
but we're more than willing to fund that person to keep that going. Nobody's taking that away,
okay.
right? That money is still there.
No, it's not. It's not there. And I told you it was going to be a very extremely humongous project that was not going to get done. So it's okay. I made my pitch. It is
Thank
what
you.
it is.
Yeah, I think that money was to get it off the ground, just to see where we stood, not to get it done. You could tell there's a lot of work there.
Mark, was that position that you're talking about, was that a full-time position or?
No, it was a part-time position so we could avoid, health benefits, all the fringe benefit
And
costs.
can you rephrase how many hours that would be?
So what I would hope for is that you would fund me enough to make it 25 hours. Like, if you funded me to 16,000 and I get it initiated by the July 1st position, timeframe, that I could, work up. But, it's gonna
Do we
be fun.
Do we have somebody in mind? Because last time we had a hard time getting a person.
I
didn't we?
don't, and you're right. I think.
Didn't we have a hard time last time getting the TA and the assistant TA?
I don't know. They were both here before I was here. I mean, it's going to be a special person because we want them to work like 12:30 to 6:30 or 12 to 6:30 and a Friday. But, I think there's someone out there for it. I really do think it would be a benefit. I can't
Okay.
make the promise, but
I'll make a motion to approve the 5,000 as is for 60122195820 for the AI software.
I'll second that.
All right, that's the one they zeroed out? Okay.
That's when we never voted on
It had been
it.
tabled.
It was tabled, so I made a motion to leave it as requested at $5,000. Mike Ullman seconded it. Roll call?
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Councilman Oman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. So
All
if
right,
we go
thank-
back up top, so if we go to the top to building department,
Are you going to, I'm sorry.
Top meeting, what page?
What page you
Where you at?
talking?
23.
23? Yes.
Where's the part-time TA go, Mr. DeCarlo?
I mean, I would ask you guys to put it into the second TA position, which is on page 22.
There's only one TA, oh, second.
Yeah, so I would just ask you to put 16,000 in there, and then I would just manage it, from there. So it would be the line 601, 22, 195, 150.
I'll make a motion to increase, make that $50,000.
How much?
50,000.
I appreciate that, Council President.
Okay, so this is a part-time position right now?
Part-time position, so it'll be two part-time it'd be a second and a third part-time TA, correct?
Yes,
Assistant TA,
yes, the assistant.
So you're motioning for 50,000.
yep.
I'll second that.
Roll call?
Councilman Cassia,
No.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Councilman Omen,
No.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Does that pass?
I don't think it's, I don't think.
It goes
You
up,
need
right?
four.
You need four?
You need four, you only got three.
All right.
What if it's our recommendation, does that?
You can't change your
Yeah, I
recommendation.
get that point.
Good try.
Thank you, I appreciate.
All right, where do we go next?
So it's
All right.
fast, correct?
Yeah, Stacy's here.
So we are going to go to page 26.
26,
We're going to go to police salaries.
police salaries.
Yeah, so I know it's a salary line, but I just wanted to remind council with the agreement that we have tentatively approved, we could reduce this by 10,000. Essentially, it is contractual, the number there. So we would, I would imagine everyone knows the agreement I'm speaking of. I'm just trying to be a little coy with it.
So 2,900,000 is the new request and add, and
Yes.
recommend?
Correct.
Yes, sir.
So for 60125240110, 2,900,000 is the new request and recommend.
Question?
Yes, Mr.
All the,
Hold on, we got to do a motion and then we can question it, right? Sewer.
Not to recommend on the
Okay,
administration.
go ahead, Mr. Sears.
okay, so all of the savings we got from the early retirements, shouldn't we reduce that from the police salary?
We did, sir. We saved $200,000 from last year's retirement.
It went down 210,000.
Retirements, I should say.
And what about,
The
oh, we
agreement.
can't do that yet.
Yeah.
Can't do it this year.
No.
That's it.
Yeah, next year you'll realize the savings, Mr. Sears.
For the agreement
And we're
this year.
approximating that at 120,000. Remember, just give or take, please don't keep me at the,
Oh, we're gonna keep.
I know.
Is there,
Mr. Roman has a great memory.
is there a reason, or can you explain, so I see the 200 obviously in the appropriated and requested, it's right there in front of you. Why the actual didn't come up to that? So
If I may,
3,110,000.
Hold on, Mr. Corcoran has an answer for you.
if I may, that's because we did a transfer for 63,000 coming out. When you transfer money out, it reduces what it appears that was spent. So you would have to add that 63,000 to that. So we're bringing it basically up to 3,000,001.
And what did we do with that 63?
I can tell you the resolution number and the date. I don't have the resolution in front of me.
You guys have it in your miscellaneous.
Yeah, we dated 12/2/25, and we took 63,000. What I don't know is, I'm assuming it wasn't just one account that needed that money. It was probably a few if I had to, maybe.
The first transfer was like mostly energy stuff.
So again, the 3,110,000 was appropriated based on contract. Just as the 2.9 is going to be appropriated based on the contract. And we see that $200,000 that was discussed as part of the early retirement actions.
Yes.
So if we didn't spend, we only spent $3,033,000 though. So the savings going across 3,033 to 2,910 is like 70,000 less.
Well, you still appropriated the $3,110,000. So we raised that as part of the budget.
Correct.
Right. So we may have only spent that amount, but we still raised that amount. So the appropriation is $200,000 cheaper, but you got to remember all those, all the employees received 2.75% this year. They received their step increases and everything. So even with that, there's still a $200,000 savings from what we asked for last year to this year. Right, like I know what you're saying. You're saying, why wasn't it $200,000 cheaper than $3,033,000?
Shouldn't it be 2.8?
Right. So, but you got to remember, from last year to this year, there was a 2.75% increase across the board, plus there was step increases. So, an employee that was making 50 might be making 60, and then that 60 got a 2.75%. So we saved 200,000 off of what we asked from last year.
Chief, we're not hiring new officers, right, this year?
Hiring?
Yeah. We're not adding, we're not, well, replace or hire, whatever you want to call it. Are we replacing officers this year?
If we have a retirement, yes.
Right, so the new ask is 2 million, the new request is 2,900,000. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second it, roll call.
Councilman Casio,
No.
Councilman Sears,
No.
Councilman Oman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes. What's next, Mr.?
Okay, thank you. We're going to go to page 29. No. We're going to go to page 27.
27, okay, yep, police officers 2.
Special officers 2.
Yep,
Again, with that agreement, we can reduce that line by $19,000.
so 70,000 is the new
The
request,
new ask would be 70,000.
so minus 19,000. I'll make a motion to make 60125240194 70,000. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Councilman Oman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
Council President DeSena.
Yes.
Okay,
On the top of that page, we have a director. The first one we'll do just to get rid of this page. There's a director of public safety, 1850 requested, 1850 recommended. Do I have a motion?
Where are you, man?
Right at the top of page
Yeah,
27.
motion if you can change it.
Oh, everybody okay with the directors at 1850?
Yes.
Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Yes?
I'll just make a motion that we just do all directors 1850, so you don't have to go through each of them.
So every director is okay at
That's-
1850, everyone?
That's my,
I'll second that.
Okay. We don't have to take a roll call on that because they're all the recommended.
They're all the same,
Yeah.
okay.
yes, correct.
Okay, they're all the same, right?
Yeah.
Mark, they're all the same, the
Yes,
directors?
yes, sir, except,
All right,
except for the public affairs director, but I know we'll go through that.
we'll go through that one. Okay, what's next on your list?
All right, let's go to page 29. It's going to start the discussion on the
Radio
dispatch.
expense, yeah.
So that would be the first one in the police budget that's associated with the dispatch center.
So this, we're gonna add the money from the ESB temporary, the new,
No, that'll be in the ESB.
okay.
That's a couple more pages down.
So what's this radio expense we're gonna change?
So, well, we tabled it because that line is associated with the dispatch service agreement. So, after having all the presentations and discussion on outsourcing the dispatch, now we have to, I guess, make those decisions.
I think this is a discussion that I'd like to put into the fall of this year, that I'd like to start a discussion before the budget's finalized, so we can have meetings on it and discussion on it. I think it's too late right now to do anything with it. And we hopefully get different numbers back in the end of, at that point in time. But I'm okay with leaving it the way it is right now.
I agree.
So it's staying in capital, in operating?
Yeah. Oh, no, we were talking about dispatch itself.
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about radios.
No, not really. No, Mr. DeCarlo's question is, are we going to proceed with identifying a outside source for dispatch, or are we leaving it in town? I think we're behind the eight ball already of moving it now, because we're,
It needs to
4
be
months into the
before-
year. So I
before.
think this is an October, November discussion of getting the numbers in October, November. So I think we'll put it on the agenda for then, to start discussions amongst the council.
Can we move that up to August?
If you'd like to move it up to August,
It takes,
then we'll move it
it's gonna take a while before we
You've
get
been
this
here
set.
before.
Yeah, we've been through this,
Multiple times.
more times than I care.
So
to
I think
discuss.
we're great. It's April already, so I don't think we could do anything this year.
Well,
But I
this
think
year I
we
did
start,
that, yeah.
so we start discussions in August, like you said, and we'll go from there. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Mr.
Yes.
Sears, yes? Mr. Ullman? Okay. So go ahead, Mr. DeCarlo.
Okay, so the request is 23,000.
Everybody okay with the request here for radios?
I'm fine.
Yes.
Everybody fine with it? Okay.
23,000.
Yep.
Thank
The
you.
next one is police miscellaneous, right?
You got it, sir. We're gonna, if you want to put the speed board in, we would ask that the increase, that the line be increased to 18,250.
So the new request to recommend is 18,250?
Yes, sir.
That's the speed board of Van Amber
That's the Van Emberg speed board, right?
Yes.
by IHA.
And then yes, by AJ, the one.
Okay.
And then, did we look at possibly moving the one on Washington? Because today it was telling me I was doing 188 miles an hour again.
Mhm.
And I know it's because the solar doesn't hit it. The Tacoma does not do 188 miles an hour. It's not turbo, so it doesn't do it.
That wasn't.
Can we maybe move it?
That was my thought.
Can we figure out a different place for it?
We will look into it.
Everybody, do I have a motion
So
to
what's the-
make
what's the number for-
18,250? Everybody okay with the 18,250 to buy the Van Emberg speed sign?
I'm okay.
Now,
Everybody sure?
we got funds for that, right? From the insurance company?
Yes, in 2023, yeah.
All right, what's next, Mr. DeCarlo?
So 18,250 is good.
Yeah,
We're gonna go right below,
it's the new request I recommend.
we're gonna go right below to guns and
Oh,
ammo.
guns and ammo, yep.
And that new ask is gonna be 37,000. So just to put the math right in everybody's head.
Are we going to war?
I hope not.
Oh,
Probably just a month
Did you
just
listen?
up here.
Holy moly.
I'm ducking.
We're good.
So the chief said he could reduce, if he got all the rifles, he could reduce to 24 to 22, but then you add in the 15 for the price of the rifles, that brings us to 37,000. We moved it out of capital.
okay. Everybody okay with that? Bottom of page 29.
So this includes the 15
So
from
the
capital, correct?
top is approved. This one's approved on the top of
I
page
think
29.
so.
Right, and then you have that.
245.
Yep. So 18,250 for this one
Yep.
and 37,000 for this one. Everybody okay with that?
Give me the final number on that one.
37,000. 22,000 for ammunition and 15,000 for new rifles. Correct, Mr. DeCarlo?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Allman, you okay with that?
Yes.
All right, what's next?
All right, we're going to go to page 30, down at the bottom. We're going to
Page
go
30.
to dispatch desk software licenses.
Yep.
And, Ms. Roman?
I know we're specifying specific rifles based on what we need. Does the 1033, nope,
Can't use them, doesn't allow armament or lethal weapons, correct? But maybe a tank. Yeah, actually, you can.
You can get a tank?
Right. Armored car.
Armored car, you can armored cars and stuff like that. They can sell you pistols, firearms, basically.
No firearms or,
I wouldn't want to use one.
No, it's been used and abused.
all right, so what are we doing here, Mr. DeCarlo, at the bottom? of page
Just
30?
we're asking for 23.5.
Oh, 23,500.
Marines never abuse their firearms.
All right, everybody okay with the 23,500 request for
Yes.
police dispatch software licenses? Everybody okay with the bottom of page 30?
Yeah. That's legacy stuff, right? We need. Okay.
And then we're going to go to computer software leasing on page 31,
Yep.
27.5.
What is it?
27.5.
27,500 software police computer software leasing. Everybody okay with that?
This is everything we tabled because of the dispatch.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
What's next?
All right, so let me just get my notes. Okay, just go up a line, sir. We're going to go to police vehicle acquisitions. We understand what council did. We just respectfully asked that it 298,000 be funded, and that's for the 2 frontline cars and the 3 side job cars. We do totally respectfully understand what council did, but we asked for 298 in that line, and that's because whatever you will approve, we took out of capital, we put it in the current, that would be the appropriate line. So the new,
I'd make a motion to reduce the 298 to 90,000 for one vehicle.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Councilman Ullman,
Yes. Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
No.
Council President DeSanto.
Yes.
all right, let me just scratch that off. Okay, we're going to go to page 32.
Yep.
And it's going to be OEM. So the OEM other.
Well, what about police salaries and wages on the first line? Because that starts on the bottom of page 31, Mr. DeCarlo?
Yeah, I mean, did you want to?
Oh, no, go in your order, please. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to go to OEM miscellaneous expense,
Yep.
and we have to increase that to 17,000. The reason is we took 10,000 from capital for the upgrade to the intersection by Bakari. And council also wished to purchase 2 of those portable Wi-Fi hotspots. So it went from 4,500 to 7,000 for the additional,
And then 10,000 for the
and then
plug.
10,000, yes.
Everybody okay with the new recommended request
So
of
the number-
17,000?
17
Yeah.
even?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I'll make a motion.
We don't have.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
What's next, Mr. DeCarlo? Everybody's good with it?
Okay, wow. All right, let's go to page 35. Oh, do you want to do that, Director, while you're there? You said that's good?
The directors,
All directors,
all
yeah.
directors are good, so.
Perfect, okay. So we're going to go to 35, and we're going to talk about what are we calling that? Like the backup dispatch center for emergency operations at the.
Are we putting that in building maintenance or where we?
No, I thought the one right below it, because it's equipment.
Okay.
Yeah, so we would request that it go up $30,000 to $35,000.
Everybody okay with that since we moved it out of capital? We voted last night to move it,
What
so.
was that for again? I forget.
The new ESD, the secondary dispatch.
two.
Phase 2
Oh.
at the
Yes,
ESD
yes,
building.
yes, yes.
We all agreed last night to move it, to put it from
What
capital.
39?
490.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, so I'm trying to get.
490, right?
Yeah, 490. Page 35,
So we're adding the
490.
30,000, making it 35,000, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Where are you next, Mr. DeCarlo?
We're going to go to page 39. So DPW vacation buyback, I kindly ask for the support of keeping it the $1,000 there for any employee that may wish to sell back the vacation.
I have it checked off that we approved it.
Yeah, I think we.
We approved it.
We approved it.
I have it checked off that it was approved.
I must have been.
Okay, that's fine.
You sure,
Yeah.
Mr. Cassio?
You were
Seriously?
doodling. No, I'm telling you, there's no doodles on
Are
here. So we
you
definitely
sure
approved.
you proved that I'm being serious?
Yeah.
I'm positive. I have a check mark by it.
I had a question on it, but I didn't say
Oh
no.
my God, that's a major win. Okay.
Well, you take it all you can get it.
DPW director, we're good. I will take that. Okay. Page 40. So this is the DPW radios. I do not have a good answer for you that why we didn't buy them last year. I spoke to the foreman and the superintendent and Ty, who's also, well involved in this. The one ordered in 24 did come in. We're now waiting for it to get installed because the price is to purchase the radio. Remember, it's not a portable, it's like the radio in the car to install it. If you fund the 3,000, we have vehicles that don't have it. I will assure that the money is spent for the radios this year. We do need it.
I'm not funding it again next year if we don't
No.
spend it.
All right.
So,
No, did they buy a radio already?
So in 23, we tried to buy one and then we canceled it because it was never coming. So in 24, we tried again, but we had tried again in 24 before we canceled the 23. So in 25, I don't really have a good answer, whether it was an oversight or we said, well, hell, the one that we bought in 24 hasn't come in, but it's finally come in now, early 26. We're going to get it installed. And you have my word that there are vehicles that need the radios. They want them. And we will spend the 3,000 this year on the.
Yeah, I just don't understand, we
We budgeted for
We
it.
budgeted, and they didn't buy it. Is it a managerial poo-pah, or why does it lie in the budget again? I mean, I understand that you're gonna make sure they get in there, but it just,
I'll take the blame for last year that, we didn't order it.
write that down.
It's on recording.
Everybody okay with the 3,000?
Can I just ask?
Go ahead, Mr. Holmes.
I realize that we would want to add it to the vehicle, but they're in and out of different vehicles so much. Are portables more flexible,
Not for them.
No.
They'll lose them. I've had departments lose them.
Or break them.
Or break them, yeah. Mike.
Plus they're way more money, right, chief?
Yes.
Like.
And they'll break,
3
and they'll,
Yeah.
yeah, and they're,
And
and
it'll
they're,
impede their ability to
Yeah.
work there.
I've had, yeah, for DPW workers, it doesn't work.
Mark?
You assign it to someone, and when they break it,
Oh, come on, we're setting them up for failure. It's going
Yeah,
to break.
they're never going to wear it because it would just impede their work.
Mark, quick
Yes,
question
sir.
with the radio. So we bought one in 24, right?
Yeah.
Is that installed already?
No.
You said-
No, that's
Okay.
what I'm
So are we
saying.
using part of the 3,000 to get that one installed, or?
No, that's in the price. So the
It's in the price,
1426 is
so
the
That's
radio
going to
and
come out of the
installation.
remainder of the 27, correct? To install it?
No, it's all within the price for the 1426.
Oh, the install, but they just didn't do it yet.
They just didn't know because the radio just came in.
Oh, okay.
And I think it came in a couple months ago, but I think it got lost in the mix, to be honest with you, because of the retirements. I think it was an assignment of one of the
Okay,
retirees.
gotcha.
Blame it on the last guy.
I'll take the blame.
are they going to be on the county, I guess, is it a network or channel?
Yeah, they're gonna be on
They're
the
gonna
fire
be
channel.
on our old fire channel.
Yeah,
So those radios would be a lot more expensive if they were on the county, because it's 700 frequency. So it's our old frequency that the fire department uses. That's what they use currently.
yeah.
That's not the police legacy one, is it?
Yeah.
It is?
Yes,
Okay.
that's who DPW uses.
So can there's interoperability between the police
Yes.
and
We
the fire
have
department?
the capability on our desk to listen to those old frequencies, yes.
Everybody okay with the 3,000?
I'm okay with it.
Yes.
I'm
Thank
good.
you.
Next.
Page 44, police vehicle repair.
Police vehicle repair.
Oh, you know what we got to do? We have to do, did we do fire vehicles tires? I don't
Yes.
think-
Yes.
Yes, we did. We took 2,000.
1,500.
We did.
Yeah.
You said that?
I
Okay.
listened to it this morning.
What's
Thank
that?
you.
We did do it.
Yeah,
So-
police vehicle, fire vehicle tires is done.
Okay. We just got to do police vehicle
Equipment and repairs.
We do respectfully ask you to leave it at 30, considering we do have, we did have cars in the queue waiting for kind of some expensive repairs to see how we did with the acquiring the new vehicle. So we would kindly ask that we do not reduce that, and we keep that at 30.
Well, are we getting rid of the 4 vehicles like was stated last night, or are we not getting rid of the 4 vehicles that was stated last night?
That was if you gave us 4 vehicles. We could swap out
There's
one for
22,
one. We'll be-
there's 22 vehicles right now.
Do you, I mean,
Chief, there's 22 vehicles. Do
If
we,
you give me 2 vehicles, I can.
we gave you one. We gave you one.
Yeah, so.
But do we need 20
Get rid of 1, but that's it,
But do we need the other 22?
yes. Come here during the day and see how many vehicles in the parking lot. Not 22 vehicles in the parking lot.
And Chief, I also mentioned last night, I think, you had 4 vehicles out of service last week, right?
Currently, I probably spent about half that budget for that ask.
Okay,
So it's only gonna get worse.
all right.
Make a motion to keep the 30.
You're okay with it? Well, everybody
Yeah.
okay with- if everybody's okay with the recommend, then we'll, everybody okay with the recommend?
Yes.
Thank you. What's next,
all right,
Mr.
we
Carl?
are, oh, we did police vehicle acquisition. We're almost close, we're getting close. Jump to page 61.
61?
Yeah.
61.
Yep, where are you?
We're gonna go to capital improvement fund. So the new number
Yep.
for the air conditioning was 75,574. So we just have to add 1,500 to that. So 4, 7, 10, 6, 7, so $77,074. 77,000,
77,074.
yes, 77074.
Everybody okay with the new recommended request for capital improvement fund? 77074.
And that's adding the air conditioning to
That's adding
the
the air
police
conditioning.
headquarters.
Yeah,
Everybody okay with that?
I'm okay.
All right, we're done with all the items then?
yeah, I think it's just except for the salaries.
Yeah, we're gonna go back and start on page 1 with salaries. All right, so go to page 1, administrator, market value compared to Pascack Valley municipalities, lowest paid administrator compared to surrounding towns. Additional information is in the binder. 149,250 is the requested and recommended.
So, I make a motion to accept it.
I'll second it.
Well, if you're not gonna change it, you
We're
don't
not
have to move it. You don't have to make
Well,
a
we gotta
vote.
figure out who's gonna,
Well, for discussion, whatever you want to do.
Well, I was gonna make a recommendation, take everything across the board salary wise and give everyone a 2% raise across the board from the 2025 appropriated.
right now, everybody's got a 2.75 except for certain people, Mr. DeCarlo?
Yes, there's a handful.
Yeah, correct.
Are they tagged outside, are they tagged on the spreadsheet as well as the book? Or
The big spreadsheet's probably more informative. So if you go to the small binder, you open up the big, you open up the big sheets. The first set gives you a comparison of 2025 salary and then how much the increase would be at 2%, 2.25%, 2%, 2.5%, 2.75, and 3. So essentially, to give everybody a 2% raise on the sheet would be 27,462. Every 1/4% above that is an additional $3,066. So every 1/4% raise above 2% has a value of 3,066. But that does not take into account, the specific handful of employees that we asked for specific raises for.
So aside from the one officer in the administration.
What, one officer? What do you mean? I'm sorry.
Aside from that, I'm just trying to highlight those that,
Yeah, so I can bring you through. So if you go to the last column
yeah,
and you see increase, so that is a specific number for administrator.
yes.
You know, the assistants in purchasing and in tax office, we ask for 50-cent raise like we do every year. We asked for a specific raise for the clerk. Council already approved like the increase in $25 for like the meetings from 125 to 50. The deputy treasurer benefits coordinator is a specific increase of $1,673. You guys already approved the recycling coordinator. The directors you already approved for a $50 increase. The chief police has a specific salary for agreement. And then if you go like to the bottom of the second page, like the police per diem, we asked for $29 per hour, right? Is that, no. Yes, the part-time, it's $29 an hour. It went up like, I think from like, what was it, chief, like 28.19 or something? Oh, I should have the, yeah, 28.16. And then we asked for a 50-cent raise for the special officer too, but the range, instead of 20 to 26, we asked it to go from $20.50 to $26.50. The crossing guards, a new range of $20 to $22 an hour. And then then of course, what we did with public affairs is we combined, because it's the same individual, that's the public affairs director and the public affairs coordinator. So we just took the salary for coordinator, added 2.75%, took the salary for director and just added the two together. So it's one salary position rather than two. And then I believe that's it. You know, I do have it in case I missed someone. The next set of,
Yeah, but we can't do the director and the salaries together because the directors are the directors.
did you want to?
Well, this came from a concern council had last year about the assistant being the same as director. That, you know, there was some disagreement about should that be combined or not. So we were just going based off of our recollection of what council.
Yeah, but if we're calling it, we're still considering the person, the public affairs director. So what's to say the other directors say, hey, how come I'm not getting 10,000,
Well,
$234?
pretty much for the reason I just stated is none of them are their own assistants. They, for the most part, they all have employees who do the bulk of the work.
If I have a question for Mark,
Yes, sir.
or maybe the chief can answer this. Are we in line with crossing guard salary? Because I know we've lost a couple, they went to other towns, and we're paying much less than the other towns around us.
I think the answer to that, it was here last, I think people go to Oregon, I think you were saying they're paid, it'll depend.
How much?
So for us to maintain and keep crossing guards, and this is just, we should increase it more than $1. I mean, I can tell that when there's no crossing guards, there's usually a police officer standing there. And it's a lot expensive to have a police officer crossing the kids than the crossing guards. I know we're losing them, but maybe we should be more competitive with our crossing guards. I'm just putting this out there. I mean, I can see what's going on during the day. You guys basically are not around during the day, but I do see a lot of police officers just standing, crossing. And talking to a couple other
Can we
people.
send the SLEOs when this happens, Chief? The SLEOs?
Sleo does the high school,
What's that?
or Sleo does the high school, and then he goes over to Washington School. So we have him, that's part of his post. Ridgewood and Pascack, we have an officer that brings a truck.
Because we don't have a crossing guard any longer.
We're DMs, but they don't work anymore.
Oh,
So should we consider making this more competitive for keeping our crossing guards?
if we went to $30, would that be a competitive rate?
Very. I think we'd have to increase the.
Can you
I mean,
figure out?
if we're gonna invest money, I would invest the money in those crossing guards during the day. Get them more competitive and keep them here without other towns drawing them from us. Or spending top dollar for a police officer to stand there.
Do we have any current openings now?
We do. We've been getting applications in, but they come in trips and drabs. They also have to get through a
So,
background investigation.
I would agree with you, Mike, to make it $30.
That would be my, if
Well,
they're getting that much in Old Japan and other surrounding
Yeah.
towns are paying that, and if we're behind the eight ball, I mean, it is more cost effective than putting an officer there with the a little bit of increase.
More than calling an officer in on overtime to stand at crossing guards.
Well, do we do that, Chief? Do we have to call officers in to do crossing guard on overtime or not?
If the shift is short, yes, then we would have. Right now, the shift has been covering it, so we pull somebody else to shift. to cover the coverage.
Okay.
So that means.
I mean,
It's not costing us money, but we're putting somebody off the road.
Typically, it doesn't, but there's a police officer standing there for an hour.
I mean, that'd be a perfect investment for the community. At least that's the way I see it, you know.
Chief, would you be able to figure out what the new request would be? I mean, if it, essentially that's a third of an increase, right?
Right now,
Okay.
maybe working.
I can't even, what page is it?
It's, well, mine's
I mean, I see it a lot during the day because I'm around most of the time during the day.
Well, crossing guards is 601-25240-150.
What page, sir?
I gotta find it now.
Oh, what number is it?
It's 601,
Page 26.
page 26.
I think page
I
26.
must have looked at it.
Thank you, Mrs.
You're welcome.
Sears. Echo.
Oh, you guys already approved it, that's why I'm looking.
How do you think you need it?
No
I feel
idea.
this pain.
Would you, to the council, would you consider an intermediate step?
Yeah, maybe 20.
Old Japan is $34. That's what I marked down here. I think $30 would be,
Well, it's a big increase.
Yeah.
Yankees pay,
What's that?
Yankees pay $50 million for a center fielder. Not every center fielder gets $50 million.
Yeah. You wanna go to 25?
25?
I mean,
I just threw 30
I
out
like
there.
the concept of the spread.
You want the range, Chief,
Yeah.
correct, or?
Yeah, I would want a range, and this way I can top out.
25 to 27?
25 to 27. I'm okay with 25 to 27 as an intermediate step. Everybody okay with that?
See if it resolves the issue.
I agree.
25 to 27?
Yeah, okay.
That's,
Well, let's see what the new number is.
that's a minimum.
50 million.
And see what benefits it brings.
Can we, so we haven't used it, is that correct?
Correct.
So we can't talk about it anymore.
Only
if
their
it's
job.
negative, right? Only if they're, you know. I mean, do you want to mention a specific name? Only if it would be a detriment. Like, if you want to talk about how great I am, you can feel free.
See, those are the in the opposite, you know, but first, I don't know if we can. I hear what you're saying. I don't know if we can't talk about the negative. I don't know if we can talk about the positive, quite honestly.
I mean, again, I would give you my word. It's, you know, it's only when there's an expectation of a negative outcome when we rice notice, because remember, we did it 2 years ago and we went through the exercise. But I mean, can you do it? Do you feel you could do it without mentioning actual names, or you want to know the names that are associated?
No, no.
Yeah, because they're in front
So
of you.
public affairs, you know, I guess,
Are we done with
Is it-
public affairs then?
Hold on.
No.
Do we want to finish crossing guards, or Chief is going to take you a little longer?
Yeah,
All right, so we'll,
probably gonna be closer to 100,000.
100,000.
From 95?
Right now, I'm like 97,
So
and that's without.
that's easy.
That's without the, right.
So do we want to make it
Summer camp?
$100,000?
The summer camp?
Yeah.
I generally pay for the crossing guards out of the trust for summer camp because it's associated, yeah.
So do we want to move it to 100,000 and I would get you a 25 to 27 range?
Yeah, definitely, yeah, this is just doing it real quick, but I can give you a more concrete number, but I think that would be pretty close. We use
100,000.
them for parades and stuff like that.
Everybody okay with changing on page 26, the 95,000 request to 100,000?
I'm good with it. I mean,
Motion to make it 100,000. Do I have a second?
second,
Roll call.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
We can all get
Councilman
raises.
Sears,
yes.
Councilman Oman,
yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes,
Council President DeSanto.
Yes, okay. Now let's
You
go
want to
back.
do overtime while you're right
That's a
there?
good investment.
Overtime.
That's a good investment.
Police overtime?
Police overtime, 601-250-240-120, 110 requested, 110 recommended.
Same page.
Yeah, the line right above crossing guards. Everybody okay with it?
Hold on.
it went down.
We had a little spike there last year. Any reason for that, Chief?
It's the comp.
Yeah, we tried to buy down our, we had to pay off the comp that guys accumulated during the units.
Well, do you need that much this year considering you just put 2 police officers on?
If we want to continue to do that, it definitely helps. I don't know what the rest of the year is going to bring as far as, call outs and stuff like that. Again, it's trying to hit a moving target, we got people coming. I don't know what it means for us, hopefully nothing, but, you have one person that has a watch party in town, we get a disaster, so these are all things that we have to consider.
That is the, I don't know if it can be referred to it as, but is the baseline overtime, is that constant or possibly decreasing?
No, it's based on each officer's individual overtime. So it depends on who gets what, like, if a sergeant calls out sick, we try to replace him with a sergeant. This way we keep the supervision. If a junior officer, we try to keep it with a junior officer, so we kind of keep it in par, with their.
Can a corporal take the place of a sergeant and get a differential pay for that, correct?
So they don't up until 300 hours. At 300 hours, they get compensated.
Take it for compensation,
That's what
okay.
they do.
Everybody okay with the 110?
I'm okay with it
I'm good,
because it's consistent. So.
Everybody okay with it?
yes.
All right, done, Mr. DeCarlo.
Thank you.
And police administrative assistant at the bottom of the page. That's a 2.75% raise there.
Yes.
So we have a motion still on the table to reduce everybody's to 2%. Anybody want to second that?
Would you consider 2.5, Dr. Cascio?
No.
I'll second Dr. Cassio's 2.
So just to make everybody's 2026 increase 2%, right, Mr. Casio?
Yeah, 2% from 2025 proposed would be 2% raise.
Okay, roll
Wait,
call.
I'm sorry, discussion?
Uh,
I was waiting for you to motion and second before
Sure.
asking. Personally, I think it's insulting and demoralizing to our employees that out of a $16 million budget, to give them all an increase to 2.75 would be just shy of $34,000. I'm sure many people on here who work for the government got more than 2% this year. why are we doing this, you know? All it takes is one or two people to leave who will do better in another town, then we have to go through the exercise of hiring, training, you know, it's demoralizing. Yeah, that would be about a $15 increase per year on the average house in town.
I think we need to do better by our employees. I would support 2.5%.
I mean, so I agree, you know, we need to do better for the employees, we need to do better for the townspeople, the taxpayers. You know, it's a balancing act, because honestly, every time we've discussed a line, almost without exception, you know, the administration has asked us to reconsider because they feel, you know, it's justified based on the dollar amount that has been recommended. It cannot be a ever-increasing budget. I mean, I just feel like, you know, at some point, we all have to accept that it's not an endless, we can't just tax upon tax upon tax for this. In my opinion, the 2%, based on my personal experience and what I saw in at least in my company, you know, that is not, that's not an unusual increase, and that's in the private sector.
But the private sector also benefits from bonuses, large bonuses.
I don't know, would private sector?
So I know, I'm a government employee, 2%, I'm not getting 2%, I'm getting 3% raise.
We
So-
also have,
I agree with you, but if our cost of living continues to rise, then we're looking at a bigger picture. So I completely agree that we can't keep taxing and taxing, but we're also, as residents, experiencing expenses. So, I mean,
so it's just an endless circle.
unfortunately, yeah, I mean, you can't get a slice of pizza for less than $3 these days. So it's the reality. So while we have to, I agree completely that we have to balance it, but it also they have to be able to do the same and balance their homes. And these are the people that are servicing the residents, and they're doing a very good job.
Council President, if I may. I mean, again, I'm sure everyone shares the same sentiment, I hope, but, you know, the civilian group of employees are excellent. They do a great job for the residents, for the town. They're the worker bees. They're the ones that get this done for the residents. I think job performance is incredible. We're not firing people. We're not disciplining people. We don't have grievances or lawsuits. We have great retention, and I believe they're deserving of the 2.75, especially to point out the inequity between the unionized employees. Why? Because the civilians are ununionized, do they get the 2% raise? The police and the DPW have been getting 2.75s for the last 4 years, and I believe the surrounding towns are seeing between 3 and 4% for civilians.
Correct.
We're not even asking that. We just think it's reasonable, especially every 0.25% is $3,000. It's, you know, I understand taxation, but these are the people that are going to get stuff done. Thank you.
You know, I won't speak for the other council, but I'm here often, and I have a full-time job. I'm here often during the day when they're working or right after I get out of work. And I see them. I see them dealing with the public. I see them answering the phone calls. I see them walking up and down the hallways, getting the job done. So, you know, Mr. DeCarlo makes a good point. The turnover rate, I don't think we have them, right? Unless it's been a retirement. That says that, you know, they're happy. We want to keep them happy because they are the soldiers doing the work every single day to get this town moving. it's easy for us to sit up here and just, yes, no.
No, it's not easy to sit up here and make these
No, in
decisions.
comparison,
No,
we're
it's
just
not.
here making decisions, but they're doing the grunt of the work, is what I'm saying.
And nobody's taking that away from them, it's just that,
So then,
Where do we-
so
where do we
I
stop
agree,
these?
let's balance. We have to balance.
But like I said, each 0.25% is $3,000. That's, out of a $16 million budget, it's an immeasurable increase. To keep, I'll go out on a limb, say there's maybe 40 employees on these two sheets.
No, not yet.
Okay. For a difference of another $3,000. Come on, let's treat them like they deserve to be treated and keep the good morale, all like that.
You think we're mistreating them? I find that insulting. We would never mistreat anyone. Just because they don't get the raise that the administration wants doesn't mean we're insulting them at all. Okay? There are people that work in private industry that don't get raises for years. There are people that in private industry don't have their health insurance paid like they get paid, the civilian employees that we have, our full-time ones anyway, okay? So, we talk about this wheel that keeps going around. Okay, so government increases their taxes. Now the worker has to work even more. Who gets taxed even more? All right? So it's just a constant wheel. So if somewhere where the government has a steady flow, then, the worker can enjoy a little bit of the fruits of their labor. And I don't think giving 2% is a kick in the can at all. I think that's pretty generous, especially with some of these higher salaried employees that we have. Okay? 2% doesn't sound like much, but if you're, making $200,000, well, do the math. That's a $4,000 bump. That's a lot of money. Okay? And I don't agree with the police, and I'll throw it out there, that they should get the 2.75 increase every year. I think that's high. I really do. I hear, well, it's a dangerous job, which it is, but they chose the job. Okay? That's what they chose. And I don't want to insult anyone, but it comes with a price. Everything comes with a price. We're paying a crap load of money for insurance, health insurance. But that's got to come from somewhere, and it's coming from the taxpayer. Okay? And I think, even though we're paying it for the employees, okay, part of it anyway, because they're contributing, right? The employees are contributing. What about the individual worker who is not employed by a company? He pays a ton of money, a ton. $30,000, $40,000 is coming out of his pocket. So where's the justification for that person? Okay, to say, man, oh, he's getting hammered. That person's getting hammered. He's got to work numerous jobs to get something that our employees are enjoying. So for me, rolling up the 2% plus health benefits and all the other benefits that they accrue, I think that's very generous. I think that is super generous. And I will leave it at that.
Any other discussion?
I don't think we're insulting either. I agree with that. But we can do better. So maybe you want to do the 275? Okay. But we got to go higher than the 2%. You and I are both enjoying 3% raises. It's not right. And I agree, it's coming from the top, right? This is why elections matter. It's coming from the top. We wouldn't be in this situation if we did not live in New Jersey.
Our residents are getting hammered from
We're all getting
state
hammered.
government,
We're
more
all
so
getting
the state than anyone else, right? We have to fund crap that we shouldn't have to fund, okay?
Agreed.
It's a sin, okay? And then we're hammering them at the local level and the county level. And I know the municipal level is probably the smallest part that we have, right, Peter? Of all the taxation that we have.
Correct.
The schools are under pressure. You saw what happened to that, okay? Westwood's got to cut people. And who's the most important people? Our kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be some break for the parents to help the younger generation and everyone. The seniors, they're on a fixed income, and we have to do our part. It's not easy sitting up here making decisions. We'd like to have this, we need to have that. There's needs, wants, and desires. We have to cover our needs, We have to get some of our wants because we need it, and our desires sometimes have to be put on the back burner. So again, I digress. I'm just gonna, the more I talk, the more I get in trouble.
So I'm looking at the overall group here, and basically they're around 45,000 to 52,000. That is super hard to try and live on. I feel comfortable with a 2.5%. We'll split the difference. I just think that,
We gave them 2.5 last year, Mr. DeCarlo. We remember what it was last year.
If you wanted to give them 1.5, you gave them 2. Initial vote was 1.5, and then thankfully you reconsidered and you
So-
voted for 2.
I will,
you're
you're making.
I can sit here and honestly say
2.5, you're okay.
they deserve it, because I'm here
Mr. Lez,
almost
you okay with
every day.
2.5?
Yeah, I would.
I try to avoid the administrator, but I'm here every day.
I would,
Cassie, would you be okay with 2.5?
No,
Mr. Ullman, would you reconsider 2.5?
No, I prefer to stay at 2.
First day, 2. All right, so the motion right now is to bring it down to 2. Roll call. We're on the salary.
I know,
Just on
I know,
general salary.
I really on different page. Hold on. All right, so Councilman Casio, motion 2%, and Councilman Ullman second the motion. Roll call is Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
No.
Councilman Ullman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
No,
Council President DeSena.
No. Would you guys do 2.25?
I'll motion for, oh no,
Not
I'll
2.25?
motion for 2.5. I'm sorry, yes,
2.25,
No,
second
no,
it.
no, I'm gonna motion for 2.5, 2.5.
I just said that.
You said 2.25.
No, listen.
Oh, okay, I misheard you, I'm sorry. I will motion for 2.5%.
Second it.
I'm sorry, which was that?
Now we're at 2.5.
Okay, thank you. A little hard to hear down this
Mr.
end.
Velez and Mr. Sears.
Somebody's not speaking correctly on my left here.
Councilman Casio,
no.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Councilman Ullman,
No.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes,
Council President DeSena.
Yes. Does it pass or
We have 3 yeses and
2 noes?
2 noes.
Does it pass?
Well, it's a decrease from what they're recommending,
So it passes.
so it passes.
Can, before you finish up, can I just bring one more pitch to you? If I can just pass, is that okay?
Go
It's
ahead.
for Recreation Superintendent.
So wait a minute, so so the motion is to make everybody's 2025 salary up 2.5.
2026. Let's not
No,
go
no, no,
backwards.
no, take the 2025 salary and multiply it by 2.5 to get to the 2026
Except a
salary.
few exceptions that are noted.
I'll change all the numbers with, and, you know, we'll do it with Sue tomorrow.
Yes.
Were you saying that recreation?
Can I, we go back to the
You sure have
There you go.
public affairs.
Public affairs,
Yes.
on the loan sheet?
On the big sheets or in the budget itself?
But,
What page are you on, Mr.?
I don't know.
Probably like 17 or 19 probably or something.
thank you. What is this?
Who is this?
This is something Mr. DeCarlo wants to discuss with us, so it's after we go. Mr. Allman had a question first.
It's page 17, wow.
18, public, right?
Public affairs, salary and wage.
So I would, I don't disagree with the number or whatever the new number calculates out to, but I would suggest that we put it into the coordinator line, not the director line.
Wait, I'm sorry, where are
Page
we?
Where are you at?
17,
17, okay, 17.
Page 17, okay, just one
there were
second,
two
please.
lines.
Yeah, I don't agree with combining the director and the coordinator because I know the director is going to ask, you know.
No, so
leave it separate?
No, I think we should combine them because it's,
Oh, you want to combine?
I want to combine them. I would just like to move it from line dash 100 to dash 110. So there would be no director in public affairs.
You have to have a
Yes,
director.
statutorily.
You have to have a
need
director because you have to have 9 directors.
But is that departments in the particular organization?
In ours, I believe it is, but you can,
It's in the ordinance. It is.
you can change that if you want. The only 2 directors you have to keep is the administrator as a director and the director of law. Those have to be in place. The other ones you can make director of street sweeping, whatever you want. So you want that?
I'll take it.
Okay, there you go.
Steve, I think we also may need public safety for police.
It might be, I know there's 2 or 3 that are
Right.
mandatory, but the rest are at the administrations, and I think the council's.
I just don't think we should
Yeah.
combine them. I think they should stay separate.
But wasn't that the request last year to combine them?
No, that was,
I mean,
That
that was
it came
the-
from at least one person on the council.
yeah.
I don't know.
That's, we carried it through to here.
Is this a quarterly stipend, just like everybody else's director come, or?
No, it's salary.
No, but I'm saying, how's it paid out? Like one shot?
I think directors are quarterly.
There you are.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Right,
That's
so, and then the coordinator, it's most likely, twice a month. So we would, I think it's appropriate if you combine them to make it salary. However you do it, I mean, I think the mayor's looking to maintain the director position.
Well, you have to maintain. the
Right.
position.
So I guess, either fund that or just separate them. It's the same dollar amount.
Based on every other director getting the 1850, I think we should keep them separate. That would be my motion, to move them back to 2 lines. Everybody okay with that? Do I have a second for that?
I'll second that, yeah.
So we're gonna make line 100, 1850, Sue?
Yep.
And the other line 83, 84, is that correct?
Well, I'll figure out the 2.5%.
Doesn't that include the 83, 84?
No, that's the 2.75%.
Oh, okay.
And if council will agree, I'll change my recommendation to match what was just said.
Actually, I should have.
It's,
I'd have to add it. I don't feel like adding right now.
You can't do them all, so let's do one.
I'll do it in the morning.
8364.
For 2.5%?
8364, Mr.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 8364.
Where?
So line 100 becomes 1850 and line 110 becomes 8364.
You gotta add 204 to 8160.
Yep, 8364.
It's 8364.
It's
It's freezing down here.
Anything else?
Yes, can you just entertain me for a few more minutes, please? And we do want to make a pitch to increase the hours for the recreation superintendent currently, and you have.
What line are we on, Mr.?
Well, it's pretty much all the way at the back of the.
No, but we're in the budget, so we can look at it.
Oh, it's on page 47. I just got to that one very quickly.
47?
Yeah.
47.
So everybody should have that. It's front and back. And
Without,
I'm sorry, sir.
Page 47, recreation superintendent.
All right, so 47.
would
And then you
that
have
be,
a front and back piece of paper.
I can't say his name.
No, don't say that, just recreation superintendent. You know who it is, you just said his name.
Right, so the requested amount, when we turned it in, was 2.75, it's down to 2.5. We would like, so that salary is a $26.90 an hour salary, based on the research I did with the help of that individual and looking at other towns. It's not easy to compare apple to apple, like the rec activities that one town has isn't identical to us, but we feel that it is a reasonable increase to bring his hourly rate from $26.90 to $30 an hour. And then we're asking to go from 20 hours a week to 25 hours a week. And the reason would be, the justification would be the sheet I gave you. So this superintendent of rec came up with ideas for additional activities to do within the township. Now, he wouldn't be able to do all of these activities on the 25 hours, but the hope would be maybe next year or some point have a full-time recreation superintendent so we can provide more activities for our residents. So if you go to the bottom of the back page where it says asking, so we're asking for salary to be increased from $26.92 an hour to $30 per hour, asking to increase hours per week from 20 to 25, increases the yearly salary from $27,462 to $39, a difference of $11,538. However, if approved, we think we could get it up and running and initiated by June 1st, plus the estoppel period for the budget and everything. So I really would only have to ask for an additional $7,000 this year. But again, just understand, if you approved it next year, I would come asking for the full 39, or if we were very successful in those next 7 months and feel that we could pitch a full-time position to the council, we of course would like to do that. So again, I just want to.
So 35,217 is the new recommended request?
Is that what I write? Do I write that? No. So it would be, well, whatever last year's salary is plus 2.5% plus 7,000. So, because it wouldn't be retro for him like it will be for the rest of us, because his position is just starting, it'll just start June 1st. So I feel the 7,000 will get us those additional hours and the additional pay per hour. So if Mr. Ullman can help me figure out what 2.5% of what, I just got to find them on the sheet.
87 plus 27,462.
27,462 plus 687 is
28.
Okay, Mark,
yeah.
35,148.
35,149.
Oh, 35.
35,148. I'm rounding down, Mr. Cochran.
Oh, okay.
35,149. I'm busting, Mr. Corcoran. It was 35,148, 62.5.
How about
That's okay. I even have it rounding up. It's okay.
how about 35,200? Just whatever, just to round
That's
it up.
fine.
So that's what we would request. And again, please, I don't want anyone to think like I'm promising all these. It's going to take this individual time to put these together.
Now, are we going to make these revenue neutral? So if, like I know the other, like, are we going to include what the cost of these programs are and then add a fee for his increase in hours and all?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Is that the intent of doing this, like we do with
Yeah.
summer camp? It basically is a zero, it's a self-funded revenue neutral thing. So the intent would be all these programs would generate some of his funding. So therefore, we're not taxing everybody for a full-time director if we do go that route. Because knowing this individual, not mentioning his name, he's probably going to be successful in doing this. I will pat him on the back for it. Because he spends a lot of time doing it without having the hours,
What is that supposed to mean?
right? So
What's the new ask?
35,200.
200.
And that's at the 2.5.
That's a
Well,
2.5
that's-
plus 7,000.
Nice.
Was that the last ask, Mr. DiCarlo?
Yeah, other than if I could get you just to if you're willing to take a look at the health benefits treasurer coordinator. I know you guys said 2.5%, but there's a lot of work with that position.
Excuse me, are we voting on this one?
Oh, sorry.
So 60128371110. New ask is 35,200. New recommend is 35,200. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I'll make the second. Roll call.
Councilman Sears,
Yes.
Councilman Omen.
Did we get you?
I get him, don't worry.
No.
Councilman Omen,
No.
Councilman Casio, sorry about that.
No.
Councilwoman Velez,
Yes.
and Council President DeSena.
Yes.
I only have 3 yeses on that one.
But I raise my recommend to it. So with 3, it passes, right? I think.
Yes or no?
I say yes.
Yeah.
We'll have to review that. All right, what's next?
I think,
So is that okay, the 35?
What's the, we have to check, because if he changes his.
We've done it on a lot of others.
we've done it, yeah, so you're
Yeah,
changing your
yeah,
recommend to the 35,
200.
200, right?
What's the next line in the final line?
All right, so the
Carl?
only, if I can ask you to please look at the health benefits, deputy treasurer, if you go to my big sheets, it's
What
towards
about,
the.
is it on the sheet? Is it on a page? of the
Yeah,
budget?
it is, but it might be easier to show you
On the long sheet?
on a long sheet.
So what are we looking at?
So you look for, go to the second column, all the way close to the end, like 1, 2, 3, like 6 up, deputy treasurer, benefits coordinator. It's a stipend, right now it's at 5827. I really do request respectfully to bring it up to an even 7,500, which would be an increase of 1673. There, with the change in the difference card, we are saving over to $300,000, but it does add a lot more administrative and clerical work to that position. There's daily reviewing of reports, the claims, monthly reviewing of the reports and the claims. There's invoicing and purchasing, and there's a lot of work dealing with the members because the members have more clerical work on them. So I feel like it's definitely deserving of more than the 2.5%. And again, that position was very imperative for saving that money. And I don't want you to think that I'm asking you to give the person money because they saved us money, but because of that savings, it wasn't like a free savings. There was a trade-off. There was more work put on this individual. So I'd respectfully ask, instead of a 2.5%, could we please increase it $1,673 to bring it to $7,500 from 5,827.
I motion to keep it at the 2.5%.
We have any
I'll second.
roll call?
I'm sorry, Mary, what page am I on? I'm sorry.
It's not on a page, we're doing it off the big sheets.
I
Yeah,
can
but she
get a
should be-
page for you.
Well, it doesn't matter, because we're leaving it at 2.5.
Here it is, benefit, no, well, here we go.
We have to vote.
You're on page 9.
No, we have to vote. No, Sue is looking for it.
Yeah,
We'll
page
put-
9, just to
put
make sure I keep it up there. All right, so Councilman Ullman is motioning to keep
Leave
it
it
at
at 2.5
2.5.
raise. Yeah.
And do I hear a second?
I second it.
Page 9, yeah.
Yeah,
It's on page 9?
yeah.
Okay.
Councilman Casio,
Yes.
Councilman Sears,
Oh, no.
Councilman Ullman,
Yes.
Councilwoman Velez,
No.
Council President DeSena.
Yes.
So what was that vote for? To keep it at 2.5%?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes. I know we voted on this twice, but on page 18,
18.
yes,
18?
it actually ends at the bottom of page 17 of website, public affairs website,
17 to,
18. It's the extra 500.
oh, okay.
Yeah, we voted on this at the beginning of the meeting, yes.
Yes, so this individual does a lot of extra work beyond these $500. So to be clear, in case some of you aren't, this is the same person that will do the programs has done the programs for a lot of our events, did so much during the snowstorms to make the postings and make the community aware exactly where the DPW was going, what it was cleaning. This person does way more than the $500. And I don't know how much you're aware of the projects. On March 3rd, we did receive an email from, I believe, Mr. DeCarlo, stating all the different ways that this person contributes. I think it was March 3rd. We all got that. So I would ask if the council would reconsider, because we will lose, valuable information sent to our residents. In fact, just recently, this individual put me in contact with somebody that was having an issue because of the 5K. And she monitored that, outside work hours. They do a lot beyond these extra $500. So I just asked council to reconsider, and I'd like to motion for the $7,500.
If I may add to that, Council President, she also handles the Green Team's webpage, and she also handles the veterans webpage on the township's web.
Okay.
And she was pivotal in the banners for our veterans, pivotal.
Thank you.
So
We have a
I'd like-
motion
I'd
from
like
Ms.
to motion
Velez
for the
and Mr.
7,500.
Seer. You seconded it, Susan?
Yes, I'm seconding it.
All right, so let me do this one. So motion by Councilwoman to 7,500. And second is going to be by Councilman Sears. Councilman Casio?
No.
Councilman Sears?
Yeah, yes.
Councilman Oman?
No.
Councilwoman Velez?
Yes.
Council President DeSena?
Yes.
Thank you.
We done now?
Well, Mike, if I may, I'm sorry, benefits coordinator, I don't understand not giving the increase. We added work to her every day, as Mark said, and we're just adding that on without any monetary. What's her incentive? She went through a lot of work with the administration to get this going. We didn't ask for a one-time bump for her for all that work. We were hoping the council would have seen the value in it. I don't know what would stop her from saying, that this was not part of my job description for the pay I signed up for. Mark didn't want us to go there.
Well, I don't
She's instrumental in
understand.
saving the town $300,000 a year.
I don't understand that statement. We created a position for benefits coordinator.
But we added work to it with the difference card.
What's that?
We added work to it. The whole difference card concept adds at least a half hour of work to her a day.
Okay.
Where, she does have to check the claims, make sure that there's enough in the bank to cover it. And the town did save, and, I'm gonna say, our employees should share in that when it adds extra work to them especially.
Thank you.
So I would just ask if you'd reconsider that also.
I'll motion for the 7,500.
I'll second that one too.
Councilwoman, what page you on with that?
The long sheet.
9 was, right?
Oh,
Page 9, I
page-
think.
Yeah, I think it connects to
And
9.
Mark, we're done after this one? Yeah, okay, so no other after this.
Right, so I'm sorry, motion by Councilwoman
Velez.
Velez up to 7,500.
7,500.
Seconded by Councilman Sears. Councilman Casio?
No.
Councilman Sears?
Yes.
Councilman Ullman?
No.
Councilwoman Velez?
Yes.
Council President DeSena?
No. Motion to adjourn?
Still move.
Second.
So
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm sorry, who motioned?
I did.
Just in time.
Second?
So whenever we
I
have
guess-
a new
Second.
initiative in town to save money, we can't bring it to fruition because I'm not going to add work to our people and tell them there's no extra pay for it. Yeah, right. This is